Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this special conference on poker with SBS in the CIS region. My name's Warren Lush, and I'm going to be your moderator today. I was the first head of public relations for Party Poker and stayed there from 2005 to 2015, and have been a freelance ever since. One of my projects, which was in 2015, bringing the World Series of Poker to Georgia for the first time with Adjarabet. I'm looking forward to this conversation today. Just to introduce the other delegate. Introducing the other delegates. So first of all, we have Dmitry Starostnikov, who's the CEO of Evenbet Gaming. Then we have Artur Voskanyan, Then we have Artur Voskanyan, the CEO of Pokerclub Management, and Sergii.
Hi, everybody.
And then we have Varco Mdivani, who's the head of product marketing for Adjarabet.
Hello, everyone.
And then finally, we have Sergey Rominenko, who's the COO of GGPokerok.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. So looking forward to this discussion. It will probably go on 40 to 60 minutes. Obviously, we're going to talk about the effects on poker of the pandemic, as well as all other issues around the game. So when we go to the start, the title of this conference is Poker Lands Flush. So with the implication that the pandemic has presented an amazing golden opportunity for classic poker, both online and live. And first of all, Dmitry, how do you see it? What has been the effect of the pandemic? Is it a golden opportunity?
Yeah, I think so. Since the lockdown, we and our operators experienced a rise in activity 2 or sometimes 3 times. And latest reports from Spain and from France for Q3 show that online poker got about 97% rise in these countries for among other gambling activities. I think the main reason of it is because why is exactly it's poker? Because poker, among other gambling verticals, is the only social game, So it's the only gambling vertical where people can gather together and spend time. So, and I think it has become very important when the lockdown started, because people aren't able anymore to meet in person so frequently, and online poker is like a way for them to substitute these live meetings.
So you say that obviously, but you're a product-based turnkey solution company. So people who would never have thought of poker before and just wanted casino and bingo and sports betting, they're now going for poker. Is that correct?
Yeah, right, exactly. Especially, it's true for sports betting operators, because when lockdown started, there were no sport events, and they started to sports betting operators started to experience problems with the revenue, and started seeking for alternatives to entertain the players. And poker, along with other verticals like virtual games and casino games, like lifesaver for sports betting operators as well. So yeah, and other side is brick and mortar casinos, which before the pandemic they have never considered. Some of them going online. They were happy with their offline business, but when pandemic started, they quickly realized that they are not able to serve their customers anymore in a classic way as the way they used to, and they started to consider moving as quickly as possible their business online, including poker tables.
Yeah. Thank you, Dmitry. This actually leads quite well to our next speaker, who's Artur Voskanyan, the CEO of Pokerclub and Pokerclub Sochi. Again, Artur, the question here is, has the pandemic presented a golden opportunity for the resurgence of classic online and live poker? You are more of a live poker operator. How do you see it?
Hi. You know what, Warren? I don't think the pandemic is any golden opportunity for any business, just in my, because this is a terrible time. But I can tell and describe what's happened in our live business. So after lockdown in Russia, but in Russia, for example, lockdown was only 2 months. So we are opening now. So maybe if we compare countries and many other countries. So at this moment, Sochi Casino probably is the only one place where you can play poker live now. Maybe even as I saw it, even Kings now closed. Yeah, I saw it in
yes, Instagram. Kings is closed. So I think actually, Artur, yours is the only place in the world open. I think at this current stage.
Yeah, that's true. And what we can see last 3 months is when we opened after lockdown. So all our live events was full, and we broken all our records. So this is a very strange situation. So, for example, when we just finished like a couple of weeks ago, we finished EPT Poker Stars, where we had 1,300 unique players. So this is just for me, it's very strange when in this time we see that number of unique players. So last amazing. 3 months in Casino Sochi, we are full, but I still cannot tell you so that this time can give us some opportunity, some golden opportunity, because to run this event, it's very difficult because players are really afraid to play because a lot of regulation is they should wear this mask. We should limited number of tables, limited number of players on each table, and people they're really afraid even travel. And I think that what we had the last 3 months it was something, something strange, but I think in the future could be difficult. So probably the golden opportunity we can talk about online, but I cannot tell about offline. But Casino Sochi, but maybe the reason is because we are the only one place in this our big country, 140 million people, and we are the only one place in Russia where we can play poker, and players cannot travel outside of the country, and we have all players, but they are from Russia, only from Russia. Some Kazakhstan.
That was the question I was going to have. Yeah, Russian players. So 95%.
Yeah, we don't have any foreign players, which is really sad.
But I saw a few there, Artur.
This is, the people who had different flags. The people who stayed in Russia during this lockdown, because it's probably more. This is this is a country where you can feel comfortable and freedom, because in Europe, as I know, it's very difficult. So now in Moscow, for example, you can see here life is going on. So clubs, restaurants, everything is working. So
yeah, we're very lucky there. It's day one of the new lockdown in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Artur.
You're welcome.
So next up, I've got Varco Mdivani, the head of product marketing at Adjarabet. And again, the question being here, has the pandemic presenting a golden opportunity for the resurgence of classic online and live poker? And what's your view from Georgia and Adjarabet? How do you see it?
First of all, I cannot disagree with Arthur that even though we see some golden opportunities here, there are still some, let's say, risks that people will run out of money and run out of the ability to play at all. So first of all, I have to agree with Arthur. But on the other hand, what we saw at the first, when the first pandemic started and hit it, and everybody went lockdown, the interest towards our poker grew like twice more, let's say, like 100%. And most of them were coming for tournaments and for the cash game and the team poker that we have, like new format of the poker. And this was really, really good time for our poker ecology. And what we did is that we tried to adapt ourselves to the new needs. So, for example, before the pandemic, we were mostly concerned about the casino growth, the sport growth, and the poker was on a, let's say, second floor. And after the start of the pandemic, we switched back to the poker and went like 4 or 5 years ago when the poker was booming into Georgia, and our strategy changed to let's say, how we can entertain the poker users and how we can give them value proposition for their entertainment. And that was our opportunity to engage with our old poker users who were coming back to play more. And as Dmitry mentioned, poker is a game where you can really play against other players, interact with them, and also it's a long process. So everybody was in a lockdown and everybody was like pretty keen to play more on poker.
That's great. So, yeah, so do you have any opinion on oversaturation, i.e. it's almost like you've got too many players now because of the lockdown, and do you have any view on whether that's good for the game? When things, let's say, go back to normal, I think it's already starting, but the situation in Georgia now looks pretty bad because we are having like lots of cases of coronavirus every day. So I think we will have like second hit of lockdown pretty soon, and we'll share the same fate as UK and Ireland just did. And I think that presents us with another opportunity for poker. And now that we are in the middle of the provider upgrade and we are making like new product for our players, and we are switching them from microgaming to Stripe provider, I think that presents us with a good opportunity for New Year. And the New Year, as you all know, is a really good time for that kind of offerings for the poker players. So from my point of view, pretty soon we will be on a second lockdown and we will have another opportunity to use for our poker players. Yeah, I read something interesting about microgaming actually this week, which was that even though they closed their room, they had doubled the size of it in the early parts of lockdown. So that really does say something. It was a widely communicated that the network was closing down, but it still doubled. So your transition from microgaming has been very smooth, I assume.
Yeah, we kindly smoothly transferred to a new provider. And one of the challenges was that, as you know, JavaScript is closing down, and not JavaScript, but sorry, Flash is closing down. So Google will not support the Flash. So we had to switch to the new provider and to it to be based on HTML. So that was one of the reasons. And for like last 9 years, we have not updated our poker platform, so it was another thing to do, and maybe the time constraint worked towards our favor that in this year we had to update our provider.
Okay, thank you, Vakhtang, for your feedback then. Next up, Sergey Rominenko, who's the COO of GGPokerok. Same question for you, Sergey, as everybody else, which is, as I go back, is the pandemic presented a golden opportunity for the resurgence of classic online and live poker. How do you see it from your perspective?
It's hard to add something new after previous speakers. I can tell only that we also grew 2 times or even more. We found that it's time to make a lot of promo. We since March we organized with our partners 2 WSOP events because it's impossible to make these events live this year. So we organized a WSOP series. It were 52 winners of WSOP bracelets. Also, we made a lot of other promos. We faced some problems with the tech side because of big quantity of active users, but I agree with first of all with Dmitry that it's very good opportunity to make promo for the poker, because people in our times need such kind of socialization, even through the poker client, and it's very good. It's not casino, it's sportsbook. We in this direction we made some new innovation. We tried to make poker more fun. We did some new smiles, animated emojis. A few months ago, we launched the tool, like it calls Snapcam. So people can make a short video, 15 seconds video, and send it to other players on their table.
That's great. Actually, it reminds me, just do you use in public the poker clubs online as well, i.e. the private games online? Yes.
Sorry, please repeat the question, because I don't.
I just wondered, you know, whether amongst this golden opportunity at your business, whether you've done the private poker clubs, so people can have their private poker game online. I just wondered if that was something you did at your end.
We don't have this opportunity, but I think all my colleagues can say that a lot of owners of private club came to them and asked to give them opportunity to host their games online.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like it is around the world. Okay, the next question for everyone is, what was the poker outlook like before COVID? So where would you see that poker is now without any COVID? Dmitry, you're up first.
I think poker now is experiencing second rise, not because of developed countries like European countries, but because of emerging markets like Latin America, Asia, India, and slightly and little bit of Africa. And I think also there's a good opportunity for poker in the US, as long as regulation is coming there.
Yes, that's the word,
so
isn't
it will be like
this,
the second chance for poker in the US. So I think poker is booming now, but not in Europe. European players or European operators don't see this boom, but it's booming now in Latin America, in Asia, in, as I said, in India, like very huge growth. So because of emerging markets, I think poker will have like second chance for the next 5-6 years at least.
Yeah. Okay. So, and the next, Artur. So the question for you, Artur, is what was your poker outlook like before COVID? And imagine a world with no COVID. Where would you be now with poker?
Well, as you know, Warren, we are in Sochi casino is making poker, and we are rebuilt, and we open a new area for poker, for offline poker in Russia and even in CIS. So regarding life, of course, and when we opened the casino, when our casino is opened in 2017, and every day we are growing and growing. So when, for example, in 2017 we made like four festivals a year, and after it was more and more. And the last in 2019 we made 12, as I remember, 12 poker festivals a year, and for 2020 we have even more than once a year months. So, but yeah, at this moment before the lockdown, change our plans, and we are changing our schedule for the year. But I think for the future, so when we finish with this situation, we will start growing and growing more and more. So yeah, this is just situation, and I think poker in Russia, I'm talking about offline, will be growing day after day. So we'll see more and more festivals, and probably there will be more poker clubs in other casinos in Russia also, because we have many different gambling zones in Russia.
Yeah, absolutely. Artur, I listened to Daniel Negreanu and Rob Young talking on a radio show last week, and they talked about what chance there would be for live events to have more than one sponsor, i.e. for the community to work together. So say you have a Sochi casino event, you could have 888, Arty, Poker Stars, Adjarabet. What do you think about that?
I like this idea because in our casino we are really friendly with all online poker brands. We are welcome, and as you know, we're working with Patty, with PokerStar, with 888, with PokerDome, with GGPokerok. Michael Kim is our friend, so we are really friendly, and we would love to present our casino like a home of poker for everybody. And if we can even share one festival with many different brands, it will be perfect. For example, as you know, last year, we are planning. We already have a plan to do this festival. Probably it will be first in our history, when it will be in May, when we would like to see many different sponsors, many different partners, online sport for one festival. It will be in May. So we asked Party Poker, we spoke with 888, with PokerDome and GG, to be a sponsor or partner of our festival. So it will be Russian Poker Festival in May. So it's possible, and this is a great idea.
It's a great idea, fingers crossed. And, I know from previous experience that it's quite hard to make the operators work together, the corporate rivalries, etc. But I think, as an outsider for me, in the CIS territories, I think the model works really well. As you just said there, a Russian poker festival, let's get everybody involved. I think that makes common sense. Okay, thank you, Artur. Next we go to Varco from Adjarabet. And the question for you, sir? is, again, what was the poker outlook before COVID, and how would you see it if we had no COVID now? What would be the difference to your business?
First of all, I think that our situation is a little bit different from what I just heard from our colleagues. Poker was on a decline for like 2 years now, so users were like switching to different products, to much faster products like slots and online casino. But I think that without the COVID, poker in Georgia wouldn't receive that needed second boost and wouldn't rise, wouldn't rail to the rising whale because it was pretty difficult to offer poker to those users who are now mostly interested in big and fast wins. So I think that what I was talking previously about the gold opportunity is there for poker for real in Georgia, and I think that without the COVID, poker would not be on a rising trend right now. I think that for Georgians, we are little bit behind of different countries' trends. So if my colleagues are saying that in different countries we are poker is trending, I think that trending will hit us like in 1 or 2 years. As one you remember, even for WSOP when we made it in Georgia like 4 years ago, it was like a boom here, and rather than in other countries where WSOP was just another poker event in one of their countries. Here in Georgia, it was like booming everywhere, and people were coming from other countries as well to play. So that way, I would say that we were pretty on a decline away, but now what we see is that we are giving it a second life, and poker is on a uprising trend right now.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's fingers crossed for another WSOP in Georgia. I saw the impact personally, what it had on that big WSOP circuit event. We brought Jungle Man out to Georgia, and then we put a big poster of him on the side of the main building in Georgia. So I'll always remember that, because I remember sending a message to Phil Helmuth saying, this is what it's really like to be really famous. So all a bit of fun there anyway. While we're on this second subject about things, questions from before, the poker outlook before COVID, I'll start with you, as I already have you, Varco, but where are you in the pros versus recreational argument and ecology? What's your opinion? Because, there can't be a discussion on poker without a discussion on ecology.
Yeah, I think that's a hard question. That's a hard topic we mentioned here, because there is always two sides to that question. But my personal approach, let's say, is, and my bet for the poker future is that on recreational players for sure. And what I've seen for my 4.5 years of experience working in gambling business and working 2 years out of it working dedicated to the poker, I saw that more recreational players you have in your ecology, the better it is for your poker ecology itself and for the pro players as well. But you cannot leave out the pro players. So everybody has to receive their own share of, let's say, attention, and everybody has to know that they come here for some reason. For example, poker pros should come for their benefit package, like with a weight back, like with a cashback, and so on. And recreational players should come for their fast win, big win, like tournaments, like a fast poker and spin poker format that is really, really on an uprising trend in other games as well, not only in poker. We have P2P games in Georgia that is very, very popular, and the spin format for P2P works well as well. So I think that my personal bet would be on recreational players, but I should give a proper respect to pro players and regulars as well. So it would be like 70-30 from my point of view.
Okay, interesting. Thank you very much for that input. Sergey, back to the actual main question for you about what the poker outlook was like before COVID and what it would look like if there's no COVID. And also I'd bring up the ecology question for you. So this is Sergey Rominenko, the COO of GGPokerok.
Let me start from the ecology. It's maybe in nowadays it's the important question in everyday poker room running. It's very hard question. We do a lot to invite new players. But we all know that it doesn't work this way. We try to help our ecology different ways. So the hardest thing to leave recreational players in the room. So you know that for recreational player, it's not interesting to play with Poker Pro because the advantage is very high. And we try to do, first of all, we try to do our soft more attractive for the rec players. It's different, as I told before, it's different smiles, it's different tools such as running twice, insurance, etc., etc. Other thing, it's to make poker more sporty. So we found that a lot of recreational players, they like to watch how the Poker Pro plays. They like, sometimes they like to play with Poker Pro, but they need to understand for 100% that it's Poker Pro. So, you know, a lot of poker rooms for now, they implement the real names especially for the high limits. And it's also a very good move for poker ecology, because I personally found that some morning the high stakes table, 400 people watched the poker game on this table. It's like good. These digits is very good for a lot of streamers. And here, without any advertisement, it's very hard. It's not such easy as just open the YouTube. I think it was previously was a lack of very of high stake games, because it's really interesting to watch the games. Then the big amount of money move from one players to another.
Yeah, so what do you think? Obviously, with your links to GG, it's a shame it's not on your platform, but we've got Daniel Negreanu versus Doug Polk, which started yesterday, and everyone thinks that, you know, this is going to have thousands of views, etc. Well, I guess America and Europe and Canada for sure are definitely going to be interested in this contest. What about in the CIS region?
Yes, it's very interesting. Very interesting moment in poker history. Today, I've checked a lot of poker medias, and almost everyone made article about this. I think because in Russia, this battle were in the night, and I think closer to the evening, some streamers will comment interesting interesting deals, and translate it to Russian viewers. So it's very interesting. It's not the local US or Canadian event. It's a very important thing for the popularization of poker in the world. And of course, we are happy that one of these two persons is our ambassador. Daniel is very attractive person across the world. In the summer, the biggest Russian sports news site asked us to help with the interview with Daniel because he's celebrity. He is very famous person.
Absolutely, yes. So that's good. Thank you very much for your input there. Going on to question 3 now, and I move back to Dmitry Starostnikov, the CEO of Evenbet. So Dmitry here is obviously, we're looking at everything that's happened during the pandemic. How have the consumers reacted themselves, and what do you believe is ahead for poker?
As we discussed in the first question, consumers are looking to poker as a way for them to socialize, to get together, to spend time together. So I think poker has become again a very important way for people to spend time together. Okay. It's one point, and another point is I think, since I believe that poker is experiencing now the second rise because of emerging markets. I think even after the lockdown and pandemic will be finished, I think this movement will continue, and because poker is growing now in emerging markets, and because of influx of younger generation into poker, I think poker operators and poker providers, developers will continue to introduce more not classical features which were very well established in Europe, but more about features which entertain, make poker game more casual, more social features. So comparing real money poker and social poker, you remember, social Facebook poker, Zynga, 10 years ago, you can see very strict difference in features and how it looks between Zynga and real money poker. Now, since it's going to Asia, it's going to Latin America, and younger generation is playing now poker games, it's transforming now to real money poker is becoming more and more like Zynga-like. So as Sergey mentioned, people need emojis, people need to throw items to each other, people need to share video, voice messages, and so on. One example, 10 years ago, we developed video avatars for poker. And we thought that it would be a very interesting feature, but we didn't get any demand from the industry for this feature because no one was interested for this video avatars. now 10 years
I think
after,
I remember all of this actually.
Yeah. Now 10 years after, we developed this feature again because we are getting a lot of requests from our customers that they need again video avatars because, as I said, newer generation of TikTok and Instagram, they need this. So I think innovation in poker will be focused on like socializing, making it more like mass multiplayer games with achievements, I don't know, presence, social interactions, and so on.
Yeah, bringing gamification elements from different types of products, like you mentioned, Dmitry, is in the poker, or maybe it's like in Mobile Legends, like Betis or Candy Crush. What the elements are there for your achievements, for your progress, for your, like, whenever you hit, for example, quads and you get some badge and so on. That's, from my point of view, is the future as well. Sorry, Dmitry, to jump in. Just what you were mentioning about video avatars. What I wanted to mention on Adjarabet, what we when we were thinking about switching the provider, our big challenge was that our previous poker was 3D, totally 3D. So users could make themselves in 3D avatars and see themselves in 3D environment. And it was quite a challenge to find a new provider that would provide us with the same experience, but innovate it into the new way. So we were really lucky that now we have 3D poker that looks like just another game from your mobile phone that you can find on App Store. And what we just turned on, like it was 1 week ago, it's still in development phase, but it's already launched in beta phase here in Adjarabet. We already see very good responses for our customers that it looks really new, really sleek, and it's like a new world in the poker as well, because the 3D avatars, they loved it, and they loved that they made some movements around the table. They were like hitting the chips, calling it, or like shouting when they want. So sorry to jump in, but I really wanted to mention that.
No, this is fine.
Yeah,
Does your company, is it kind of like PKR, or the previous poker room that shut down PKR? Are you aware of that?
No, it's Tribe. It's as I know, it's Georgian company that was established 2 or 3 years ago, and they are providing quite a good services for P2P and for poker platforms as well.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. So sticking back to the questions where we are, next up to Artur of Poker Club Management again. And Artur, we've spoke quite a bit about online here, but what I would like to hear now from the live events perspective is, how did the consumers react to what you to the events that you've put on and with COVID, and what do you see as ahead? We did discuss that briefly earlier on, but
yeah, you know what? Of course, our players, our customers, supporting us, and they always with us and just give some advices. And if we do something, we are always going to communicate with, and we're very close with all our poker players, because they are our customers. Not only customers, they are our friends. So we still have a lot of players in our casinos. And regarding future, I always say that in Russia and CIS, total global, we have a future about online poker, because I know, so for example, in Ukraine now, they are in a way probably already made legalized of online poker, yeah. And Russia, we still don't have it now, but we believe and we expect online poker will be legalized in Russia. So when it will be official legalized in Russia, so this will be another step, another new area of poker in Russia, and will be much more. So much more, many players will join us and will play this game. So in Russia and total global CIS, we have a future, of course. Yeah, it will be.
Absolutely, yeah. Some people see this live events as they use it as a loss leader for simple brand management. So, me and you both know Rob Young, who has used overlays and put lots of money into live events, etc. What do you see in terms of the purpose of your live events? The impact it will have on your online customers. your operators?
Sorry, you. What do you mean? You mean?
Do you agree that the purpose of live events really? I don't think you would, because it's the support for a brand and that they're used as a loss leader.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. That's great. Move on, shall we? Swiftly. I think we're nearly there, guys. Sergey, I just need to speak to you about, again, what's the final question here?
I'm sorry, I was waiting for your question about innovation, because I think GG Network, GG Poker is #1 in innovation in poker community. So I have something to tell you. Of course, we are thinking, because we are the most innovative poker room, we think about innovation every day. We think what we can suggest to our clients. So we are thinking about this in different ways. Of course, we try to understand how to protect better recreational clients from the artificial intelligence, from the botnets, and I think our security, poker security, one of the best in the market, because sorry, I can share the details, but we have made a lot during last year to improve this direction. Also, we are thinking about how to improve the client security. So one of our idea to implement Face ID during the login to the poker client. We think how to make more smooth clients' experience in the poker client. I think we have a few innovations which we present next year. Maybe they explode the market. I hope, at least. And of course, we think how to innovate the acquisition process of the clients, because it's technical thing, but it's also important, especially for business.
Yeah. So it's interesting you brought the security up, actually, because I've got this fact that I overheard Rob Young say. He said that Party Poker's new security system cost GVC £15 million of gross gaming revenue. It wipes it off of it. So security is obviously a very, very important thing, but it affects the operator negatively.
You know that every room speak about their security, but nobody can share the details, is the problem.
Of course, yeah. Do you think there's more, you know, I suppose there's a general issue with the security everywhere, but more so in the CIS region? Or just it's the same worldwide?
I think it's the same as worldwide, but in the CIS, because of our society, because of good technical education, it's more actual, maybe, even for us.
Thank you very much for your answers to that. So I think we're about done here. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up on any of these questions at this stage?
I think that one thing we have to address is that we have some question in our chat, and so this guy is asking, most of you guys play poker, so what's your favorite poker hand? And maybe we will start with Warren. Maybe you will start.
What's my favorite poker hand? 7-2 offsuit.
For me,
There we
pair
go.
of nines.
A pair of nines, yeah. Let's have a look at these, yeah. What about the rest of you? Someone's going to say aces, aren't they?
No, I think that these guys, all of us, nobody's gonna say the aces here. I don't know. It's a bit of luck thing because my favorite hand is pair of sevens. So I don't know why, but whenever I'm risking pair of sevens, I always win. Maybe that's why. I have that belief that sevens never crack. So
let's have a look at some other questions here. 1 second. I think that's it. Yeah, so favorite hands. So is everybody given their favorite hand?
Yeah, answer it in the chat.
Yeah.
Middle pair.
Middle pair. Suited connectors. How do you guys see it sometimes? Because like I've seen through poker since 2005, and I worked in America, and it was the American game. Let's put Paris Hilton sitting on a bonnet of a car while loads of people in cowboy hats play. But you know, how do you see it now? Do you think this is a question to all of you. Do you think that poker itself is near to being solved with this new generation? Varco, do you want to go first?
Sorry, Warren, can you repeat the last part, just the question part?
Yes, so I'm just wondering that. Yeah, just the final one is that there's lots of people that now think that the professional players are too good. They think that the game of poker has almost been solved. I just wanted to know your views on it.
You mean AI thing in poker?
Yeah, or just there is people use HUDs. I've been and worked with people who are geniuses. They know the percentages straight up of every what every possible ending will be, etc. Do you notice that's more in poker these days?
I don't know. For example, chess. Yes, it has been solved a long time ago. It hasn't solved like maybe 10 years ago, but still people are playing chess, and still it's very popular game. Yeah. So I think poker will go the same way. So I don't think that this game will be solved.
No. Anybody else have an opinion?
I think that what we have to address is that there are infinite number of hands with infinite number of people with infinite number of possibilities, and I think poker brings that to life. And I don't know, even when there is a pro player there playing for like 10 years or 20 years, and there is a new guy who just came into the room, maybe he can beat him. Yeah, odds are really not in his favor, but I think odds still are there. So I don't think that poker is solved or anything like that. I think that poker is the type of game when you cannot, you cannot beat the final boss there. So it will be always something new happening in this type of game.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, correct.
Okay, guys. Any more? Dmitry, you've been, yeah. That's good. Anyway, it's time to wrap up now. We're slightly coming towards the end. It's been a pleasure to speak to you all. And I hope you all have a nice day.
Yeah. Thank you for the good session.
Thank you, Warren.
It was a pleasure.
It's great to speak to you all, and it was very enlightening for me as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.